Hello friends. I am Professor Sanjay K. Bhadke, and today we are going to discuss about the various concepts and aspects related with the transportation engineering. In last class, we discussed about the various transportation structure under the Prerna scheme. We know that Prerna scheme is sponsored by the All India Council of Technical Education, and which aim is to uh, give the various higher education to the various students under the GATE examination. So transportation infrastructure, it includes the various construction of chambers. What do you mean by side distance? What are the various types of curves? So all these things we are discussing in the last class, and we also discuss about the various reference books which relate with the highway engineering, like Khanna and Justo's, bridge engineering by SP Bindra, then bridge engineering by SC Rangwala. It is a Charosel Publishing House Private Limited, Principle and Practice of Highway Engineering by SK Sharma and Khanna Publications. So in last class, what points we discussed that chambers, side distance, transition curve, super elevation, extra widening, summit curves, and valley curves. So we know that when we are going for the any type of transportation related works, so it is very important that we should have the design of chambers, and one should have the knowledge of the side distance. One should know the what do you mean by the transition curve, what is the effect of super elevations, and uh, counterbalancing of centrifugal force. What do you mean by the extra widening, summit curves, and valley curves? So all this is discussed in the last class, and through this one student can have a specific objective that he should know the design and highway cross section such as super elevation, transition curve, summit curve, and valleys curve. One should get the knowledge of all these things. So at the part of geometric design, we discuss about the various design speed, how design speeds play an important role in the transportations, why design speed is useful, what are the various applications of design speed. So all these things we have already discussed. Today, we know that aggregates or any other material is a very important part for the construction of road. Basically, nowadays we know that government has doing various types of constructions. They're replacing all flexible pavement with the help of the rigid pavement. Means throughout the Maharashtra and overall India, we are using all bituminous roads by using the concrete road. Basically, if you take an example of the flexible road, so in case of flexible road, we know that the maintenance cost of flexible road is more as compared to the concrete road, and the life is less. But if you take an example of the concrete road, its maintenance cost is less, but its life is more. So that's why it's our aim to replace all the flexible pavement by the concrete road. That's why we should get the strength and toughness which is related with the material. So normally there are various types of material which we are using for the road construction. So this material normally it's include the aggregates. We know that aggregates is a very important phenomena. Aggregates is very important, and every aggregate it's having is some properties. If we don't study the all the properties of aggregates properly, if we don't have the proper knowledge of the aggregates, and we are using this material for the constructions or for the construction process, so it may create the problem. So that's why we should know the various properties of aggregates. And through this topic, one should understand through this topic, one should understand the properties and specification of different material used in the road construction, such as aggregates, bitumen. Normally, we are using the bitumen for the flexible pavement, and in case of concrete road, we are using the aggregates. So we should know the properties of the aggregates. So there are some desirable properties. There are some desirable properties, very useful properties. It include the strength, hardness, toughness, shape of the aggregate, adhesion with the bitumen, durability, and it should be freedom from the deleterious practicals. So how strength is important? The aggregate is in the top layer are subjected to the trace. So that's why strength plays a very important role. And it includes the stress action due to the traffic wheel load, wear and tear action, crushing, and a high quality pavement. To aggregate should possess a high resistance. It is very important that it should have a high resistance to avoid the wear and tear action, and it should be in position to withdraw the various impact load. Hardness is also very important property. The aggregate which is used in the surface are subject to constant rubbing, absorption due to moving traffic. The aggregate should be hard enough to resist the abrasion action caused by the movement of the traffic. The abrasion action is so when steel tire vehicles move over aggregate exposed at the surface. Then toughness. Resistance of the aggregate to impact is termed as a toughness. Aggregates used in the pavement should be able to resist the effect caused by the jumping of the steel tire wheel from one particle to another at different level, causes several impact on the aggregate. So this way, strength, hardness, and toughness. They are the very important. Once next is shape of the aggregate. So we know that when we are going for the any construction, we should know the shape of the aggregate. Many cases, what happen? We are using the rounded or cubical shape or angular shape aggregate. Basically, we should not use the flaky type of aggregates because flaky type of aggregates having the low strain, less durability, and due to which we should avoid the use of flaky type of aggregate in the constructions. Then adhesion with the bitumen. The aggregate used in the bitumen pavement should have a low affinity with water when campered with the bituminous material. Otherwise, the bitumen coating on the aggregate will be stripped for the presence of the water. Next is the durability. Durability, we know that it is a very important thing. We should know the durability of the aggregates or any other metal, and that material or aggregate should not be affected by the various atmospheric properties. So to take the various properties of the material in various conditions, durability plays a very important role. The aggregates are subjected to the physical and chemical action of the rainwater, bottom water, impurities. There is an that atmosphere. Hence, it is desirable that the road aggregate used in the construction should have a sound enough to be done with the wearing action. So if you want a sound material, if you want a sound material, so we should check the durability of the material. Then freedom from the deleterious particle. We should use the clean type of particle for the construction. We know that many times the aggregates or any other material which we are using for the road construction, that particle having the various types of dust, clay. So they should not have the dust clay, because if we are using the same material with the dust and clay, so we should not get the proper bonding among the material, and we will get the less strength of the material. So to avoid the various types of yeah, in case if you want the proper bonding, we should clear the various types of glass, clay, and similarly in aggregate using the Portland cement concrete mixes must clean and free from the deleterious substance such as the clay lumps, jade slit, and other organic material. But finally we can say that the material which we are using for the construction, it should be free. So now we are going to discuss about the various aggregate tests. Already I told you that aggregate test is a very plays a very important role for the road construction. So there should be we should follow the various tests on the aggregate. So this test contain the crushing test, abrasion test, impact test, soundness test, shape test, specific gravity and water absorption test, bitumen and adhesion test. So these are the various tests, and we should apply all these tests on the material that we know the various strain and various properties of the material. Next, what do you mean by the crushing test? In that, we are applying a proper load on the aggregates, and we can find its crushing test with the help of the instrument. So, aggregate crushing value is calculated by the W1 divided by W2 into 100. So, in that case, we are using a various types of dry aggregate passing through the 12.5 mm sieve and written up to the 10 mm sieve and filled in a cylindrical measure of 11.5 mm diameter, 18 centimeter height in 3 layers. Each layer is tampered with the 25 times with a standard tampering rod. The test sample is weighed and placed in the test cylinder in 3 layers, each layer being tampered again. The specimen is subjected to a compressive load of 40 tons gradually applied at the rate of 40 tons per minute. The crushed aggregate are then saved through a 2.36 mm sieve and weight of passing material. So it can be expressed in percentage. That's why we are using this formula. Aggregate of crushing value is given by W1 divided by W2 into 100. Here you can see this is one crushing test apparatus. Here we have fill up the one sample, and this sample is covered with the piston. So here we are continuously applying the load through the piston on the sample, and this way we can calculate the crushing strength. Abrasion test. We know that Los Angeles machine. Normally, we are using the Los Angeles machine to calculate the abrasion test of the aggregate. So this Los Angeles machine is consist of a drum with an internal diameter of 700 mm and length of 520 mm, mounted on the horizontal axis, enabling to be rotated. An abrasive charge consists of a cast iron spherical ball of 40 mm diameter and weight. It is weighed near about 340. It is placed in the cylindrical along with the aggregate. The number of the abrasive sphere varies according to the grading of the sample. The quantity of aggregate to be used depends upon the graduation and usually range from 5 to 10 kg. The cylinder is then locked and rotated at a speed of 30 to 300 rpm and rotate about a 500 to 1000 revolution. After specified revolution, the material is sieved through a 1.7 mm sieve and passed fraction is expressed in a percentage. The total weight of the sample, this value is called as the Los Angeles abrasion value. Basically, when you are going for any type of construction, and if you want to construct the uh, WBM road, so in that case, we are taking this value as a 40%, and for the bituminum road, we consider this value up to the 35%. So abrasion test plays a very important role for the road construction. So this is the picture where you can see one abrasion test apparatus, which is called as the Los Angeles abrasion test apparatus. It is set up on a horizontal platform, and which is of rounded side, and which having the various cover plate and steel ball as shown in the figure. Next is the impact test. The impact test is also a very important thing to evaluate the resistance of the impact value of the aggregate. So we are using various types of equipment to calculate the impact test of the value. And when you are going to perform this practical, we should follow the various types of recommendation which is given by the IRC. Soundnet test is very important thing. So we know that uh, we are performing this soundnet test on the cement, and same way we are performing this on the aggregate also. Next is the bitumen adhesion test. Now we are going to discuss about the bridge. So already in introduction part, I told you that today we are going to focus on the bridges. So what do you mean by bridges? What are the components and classification of bridges? How data can be collected? What is the site selection and economical span of the bridge? What is the estimation of flood discharge, waterway? What do you mean by the score depth? What do you mean by the afflux clearance and free bed? So all this we are going to discuss in the today's topic. So in this specific topic, the student will able to understand. He should know the about the bridge design, its various component and bridge hydrology. He should understand the various types of bridge and their design aspect. Then what is bridge? Normally, for the transportation purpose, we are providing the bridge over the river or any stream. So technically a structure facilitating a communication route for carrying the road traffic or other moving load over a depression or obstruction, such as a river, stream, channel, road or railway. The communication route may be railway track, a tramway, roadway, footpath, or a cycle track, or it is a combination of both. Then how various components of the bridge. So basically the bridge can be divided into two major parts. One is superstructure and another one is substructure. We know that the construction which is up to the plinth level or construction of foundation. So all these come under the substructure, or the construction of pier or construction of abutment or construction of slab bridge. So all these come under the superstructure. The superstructure of bridge is analogous to a single story building roof and superstructure to that of the wall, common column and foundation supporting. Now, next point, how the bridge can be classified. So bridge can be classified into various types depending upon the following factor. The material which is used for the construction. Under this category, bridge may be classified as a timber bridge, masonry bridge, steel bridge, reinforced cement concrete bridge, prestige bridge, and composite bridge. So, as per the material used, we are classifying the bridges. Alignment. Under this category, the bridge may be classified as a straight or a skewer bridges. Then location of bridge floor. Under this category, the bridge may be classified as a deck bridge, semi-through or through bridges. Under the purpose, this category bridge may be classified as a aqueduct, viaduct, highway bridge, railway bridge, and foot bridge. So these are the various types of bridge, and if you want to classify the bridge, you should consider all these points: material used for the construction, alignment, location of bridge, and purpose. Second, nature of the superstructure action. Under this category, bridge may be classified as a portal frame bridge, truss bridge, balance cantilever bridge, and suspension bridge. Position of the high flood level. In this category, bridge may be classified as a submersible and non-submersible bridge. Life. Under this category, the bridge may be classified as a permanent bridge or temporary bridge. We know that there are some bridges which we construction on the permanent basis, and there are some bridges which we construction on the temporary basis. Loading. A road bridge and culvert have been classified by the Indian Road Congress into Class A, and Class B. According to the loading they may be designed to carry. Basically, when you are going to construct any road, we should consider the loading capacity of the various vehicles. When we construct the road, this road can be used by the trucks, this road can be used by the car or many other vehicles. So for in every cases, the loading is different. That's why as per the IRC recommendation, we should design a load for the class A, and class B. So according to this loading, we can classify the bridge. Then what are the various ideal requirement of the bridges? Basically, bridge is a big structure, and it's required a big funds. So When we think about the ideology of the bridge should be more economical. It's having a very good aesthetic view, and its construction is like that it should be safe and convenience. There are various methods through which the bridge can be identified. Uh, you can provide the separate numbers to the bridge. There via method of numbering. This number should be in the form of the fraction, numerator denoting and the number of the kilometer in which the structure is situated, and denominator. So also on the basis of the length in kilometer, we can classify the bridge alignment. So already we discussed that if there is a straight alignment of the bridge, so in that case we can avoid the various types of skidding and slipping actions. So normally there are two type of alignment we are using. One is square alignment and second one is the skew alignment. So in square alignment in this bridge, it is at right angle to the axis of river. In skew alignment, the bridge it has the same angle to the axis of river, which is not at the right angle. So in case of square alignment, there should be the right angle, and in case of skew alignment, uh, you can use any other angle. Economical span is a very important thing if you consider the bridge. When the cost of the superstructure is equal to cost of the substructure. So in that case, we can say that the bridge is an economical bridge. And the bridge has an equal span length. In practice, generally equal spans are kept. So economical span is very important while we are doing the audit of the bridge. So in case of bridges, the cost of the pier and its foundation is constant. This is more or less only approximately true, as the depth of the foundation is decided by the score consideration which constant at a bridge side. So there are various formula. Normally we can use that formula to calculate the economical span of the bridge. So if you want to calculate the economical span of the bridge, we should have some constant variation like A1 and A2. So you are using this formula, economical span is equal to P by under root of P by A1. So by using this formula, you can calculate the economical span of the bridge, and this span is denoted by the L. Score depth. What do you mean by score depth? The depth at the middle of the any river is called as the score depth. Once you calculate this score depth at the middle, so you can understand what is the position of the river, or you can give various aspect which is related with the flood. So that's why score depth plays a very important role. Score depth, the score depth, the score depth are alluvial stream bed and bank are composed to loose granular material that has been deposited by the stream and can be picked up and transported again by the current during load. The stream tend to score or still up till it has occupied such a cross section, and more particularly such a slope that resulting velocity non-sitting and non-scoring. When such a stag occurs, the stream becomes stable and tend to maintain the acquired shape and size of the cross section and acquired slope. Such stream is known as the Rigby channels. We know that Agglux, when a bridge is constructed, the structure such as the abutment and pier cause the reduction of the natural waterway area. The increased velocity gives rise to a sudden heading of the water on the upstream side of the stream. The phenomenon of heading up water to the upstream side of the stream is known as Agglux. In case of if depth of foundation, when we want to provide a foundation, the bearing capacity of the soil should be proper. If the bearing capacity of the soil is not proper, so in that case we can say that we should improve the properties of the soil, and we should use various chemical and mechanical mechanism to improve the depth of the foundation. Freeboard. Normally, this freeboard is the indication of overflow of the water. So freeboard is required to allow floating design voluntary approach way to pass under the bridges. So here you can see this is the various types of the bridges where high level bridge. So in that case, the freeboard should be of 600 mm. Arch bridge, in that case, the freeboard should be of 300 mm. Girder bridge, in this case, the freeboard of 600 to 900 mm. And navigational bridge, in this case, the freeboard should be of 2400 to 3000 mm. Clearance is also plays an important role because to provide the passage to the vehicular traffic, in that case, clearance is very important. And these are the various reference books which you can use for the highway and bridge engineering. Also, there are some reference web like Indian Road Congress, IRC, International Code Council for International Code Council, and then Ministry of Surface and Road Transport. So, student, this way, today we are discussed about the bridge engineering, and this bridge engineering plays a very important role in case of your gate examination, and they may ask you the basic like that. What do you mean by the freeboard? What is the value of freeboard for the high bridges? What is the value of freeboard for the box culvert? Okay, so this way you have to remind and you can study. So your basic concept, if you want to clear your basic concept, you can use the references with. So here we will stop, and in next class we will discuss about the airport engineering.